Good evening, dear all. My dear students, the dignitaries, and our guest speaker today, Dr. Sujata Kulkarni. All the dear students and parents of Bhosla Military School Girls, I welcome you all in the first guest series of today's session. Today, we are fortunate that we have a very renowned gynecologist of Nasik city, Dr. Sujata Kulkarni, who is MD and DGO from Nasik and a practitioner in Sita Nursing Home. She is going to impart her knowledge regarding adolescent areas of today's generation. My dear students and parents, as you people are aware that the lecture is specifically designed for 9th and 10th standard. So this specific age, which we call 14 plus age, different and difficult too. Why so? Because at everybody's place, now you people, even if you are hostelite, since last 3 or 4 months, you people are enjoying your day going, and so you must have experienced this specific thing which I am going to mention now. हमारे घर में ऐसे होता है कि सपोज आप बड़े हो एंड द यंगर सिबलिंग इज अराउंड इफ यू आस्क फॉर a key of the vehicle just to roam around the campus, immediately the parent says कि आप इतने बड़े कब से हो गए गाड़ी चलाने के लिए. And in the next situation, when you are actually watching television set, but your younger sibling enters into the hall and asks for the remote control, you do not provide it to him or her, and the tantrum that your younger sibling throws, the moment the younger sibling is likely to throw her or his tantrum, somebody from the family comes in the hall and tells you, आप तो बड़े हो, आपको समझ में नहीं आता, उसको रुलाना नहीं है करके. तो ये जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स है, whether you are a grown up mature kid और आप छोटे हो, ये आपको ही समझ में नहीं आता, क्योंकि पेरेंट्स एंड घर के सारे बड़े लोग अपने कन्वीनियंस के अकॉर्डिंग आपको कभी बड़ा कर देते. ये जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है, ये कॉन्फ्लिक्ट समझाने के लिए ही आज का हमारा पहला सेशन डिजाइन किया गया है. बिफोर इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ आवर चीफ स्पीकर टुडे, माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, लेट मी टेल यू दैट द लेक्चर इज डिजाइन्ड अंडर नियो प्रेरणा फाउंडेशन. आता हे नियो प्रेरणा फाउंडेशन काय आहे हे नाशिककरांना बऱ्यापैकी माहित आहे, पण मला या गोष्टीची पूर्णतः कल्पना आहे की भोसला मिलिटरी स्कूल गर्ल्स मध्ये अख्ख्या भारतभरातल्या विद्यार्थिनी आणि पालकांचा समावेश आहे. त्यामुळे फाउंडेशन बद्दल थोडंसं सांगावंसं वाटतंय. श्री अनिरुद्ध कंठे सर यांच्या मार्गदर्शनाखाली नियो प्रेरणा फाउंडेशन गेल्या कित्येक वर्षांपासून नाशिकमध्ये आणि नाशिकच्या आजूबाजूच्या जवळजवळ सर्वच आदिवासी क्षेत्रांमध्ये सामाजिक संस्था म्हणून कार्य करते. विविध क्षेत्रातील डॉक्टरांचे या मुलींना मोठं करण्यामध्ये, मोठं म्हणजे सायकोलॉजिकली आणि क्लिनिकली मोठं करण्यामध्ये या संस्थेचं खूप मोठं योगदान आहे. जवळजवळ सर्वच क्षेत्रातील डॉक्टरांचे गेस्ट लेक्चर्स आदिवासी क्षेत्रातील वाड्यापाड्यांमधल्या मुलींसाठी अरेंज करून त्या विभागातील मुलींना दरमहा 1000 रुपये स्कॉलरशिप देऊन थोडंसं शैक्षणिक क्षेत्रामध्ये सपोर्ट देता यावा, या दृष्टीने सुद्धा हे फाउंडेशन बऱ्याच वर्षांपासून कार्यरत आहे. आदिवासी विभागातील विद्यार्थिनींना केंद्रबिंदू मानून त्या विद्यार्थिनींना दरमहा हेल्थ किट प्रोव्हाइड केले जातात. आता हेल्थ किट म्हणजे आपल्याकडे युजली फर्स्ट एड बॉक्स असतो तशा स्वरूपातले हे हेल्थ किट नाही. त्याच्यामध्ये फर्स्ट एडशी रिलेटेड वस्तू तर आहेतच आहेत, पण मुख्यत्वे आदिवासी विभागामध्ये ज्या गोष्टी आपल्याला रोजमर्रातल्या गरजेच्या गोष्टी वाटतात त्या त्यांना केव्हाही अवेलेबल होतील अशी परिस्थिती तिथे नसते. म्हणजे अगदीच माझ्या विद्यार्थिनींना सांगायचं ठरलं तर कंगवा, तेल, ज्या गोष्टी आपल्याला सहज अवगत असतात त्या ठिकाणी मिळत नसतात. म्हणजे टूथब्रश वापरणं खरंच गरजेचं आहे का, हा सुद्धा प्रश्न त्या विद्यार्थिनींना किंवा तिथल्या आदिवासी मुलींना पडतो. तेव्हा ह्या अशा हेल्थ किट्स मधनं नियो प्रेरणा फाउंडेशन एका मुलीला आवश्यक असणाऱ्या आणि तिच्या स्वच्छतेशी रिलेटेड ज्या ज्या गोष्टी, बेसिक गोष्टी गरजेच्या आहेत त्या सगळ्या गोष्टी या हेल्थ किट मार्फत प्रोव्हाइड करतात. त्यातून या मुलींना बेसिक सवयी कल्टिवेट होण्यासाठी थोडीशी मदत केली जाते. या व्यतिरिक्त वाचन संस्कृती रुजवण्यासाठी आणि जिवंत ठेवण्यासाठी दर महिन्याला या आदिवासी वाड्यापाड्यांमधल्या शाळांमध्ये जवळजवळ 30 ते 40 पुस्तकांचे वाटप केले जाते. याचा अर्थ वार्षिकरित्या पाहिलं तर जवळजवळ 300-400 पुस्तकं सहजगत्या निओ प्रेरणा फाउंडेशन कडनं या छोट्या छोट्या शाळांमधील विद्यार्थ्यांपर्यंत पोहोचवले जातात. आणि माझ्या बालमैत्रिणींनो, तुम्हाला सर्वांना आणि पालकांना माहिती आहेच की आपण तेव्हाच वाचतो जेव्हा आपण वाचतो. म्हणजे आपली वाचन संस्कृती जिवंत ठेवण्यासाठी निओ प्रेरणा फाउंडेशन जरी मुख्यत्वे मेडिकल क्षेत्रामध्ये कार्यरत असली तरी देखील साक्षर क्रांती ह्या त्यांच्या उपक्रमामार्फत 10वीच्या मुलींना सुद्धा स्कॉलरशिप प्रोव्हाइड करतायत. यंदाचा त्यांचा मानस असा आहे की 90%हून अधिक पर्सेंट ज्यांना मिळालेले आहे त्या मुलींपर्यंत पोहोचून त्यांना काहीतरी आर्थिक स्वरूपामध्ये मदत देऊन त्यांच्या पुढील शैक्षणिक धोरणामध्ये हारीचा काहीतरी वाटा उचलणं हा त्यांचा मुख्यत्वे उद्देश आहे. हे सर्व आहे निओ प्रेरणा फाउंडेशनचं कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन. आता मी आपल्या आजच्या चीफ स्पीकर बद्दल म्हणजे डॉक्टर सुजाता कुलकर्णी यांच्याबद्दल 2 शब्द आहेत. मॅडम कन्सल्टंट गायनेकॉलॉजिस्ट म्हणून प्रॅक्टिस करत आहेत गेल्या 30 वर्षांपासून. त्यांचा हातखंडा MD DGO म्हणून बऱ्याच वेळेला सिद्ध झालेला आहे आणि पास्ट नाशिक गायनेक सोसायटीच्या त्या राहिलेल्या आहेत. त्यांचा मुख्यत्वे जो इंटरेस्ट आहे तो अडॉल्ट बागायत 3,500हून अधिक शाळांमध्ये मॅडमने त्यांचे कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन ह्या विषयामध्ये दिलेलं आहे. वी आर फॉर्च्युनेट माय डिअर स्टुडंट्स अँड पॅरेंट्स की कुलकर्णी मॅडम आज त्यांचं ज्ञान आपल्याला देणार आहेत. त्यामुळे सुरुवातीचे 50-55 मिनिटं सगळं झाल्याच्या नंतर मॅडम आपल्याला प्रश्न विचारण्याची मुभा देतील. त्याच वेळेला विद्यार्थिनींना रिक्वेस्ट आहे की चॅट बॉक्स मध्ये त्यांनी क्वेश्चन्स टाकावेत. या ठिकाणी ते क्वेश्चन्स आम्ही वाचून मॅडम पर्यंत पोहोचवून तुमच्या शंकांचं निरसन केलं जाईल.
Good morning. Thank you, Ms. Pragna ma'am, for very kind words. Thank you, NeoCare Foundation, for this fantastic activity. Now, since because of COVID, we are all contained in the homes, I think this is the best way to reach the maximum number of people. We are going to talk today on adolescence. And what is adolescence? Adolescence is basically it's the path or it's the passage from childhood to adulthood. And this is such a crucial time for us all to understand the changes that happen within us. The changes are psychological, the changes are physical, the changes are hormonal, and how we perceive these changes and how we adjust to these changes is what we shall be seeing today. Can I have my screen share, please, Ma'am Divya? So what is adolescence? Adolescence is basically the passage from childhood to adulthood. And there are so many changes that are happening during this time. There are emotional changes, there are psychological changes, there are physical changes, everything around you changes, everything within you changes. And we have a lot of questions during this time. So I'm here, girls, as your friend, to address to these questions on a scientific platform. So we'll see what is growing up is about. Everything that you wanted to know about the puberty, the body image and self-esteem. When will my menses start? My friends, menses have already started. When will my menses start? Why do I feel attracted towards the boys? Why do I get acne? And many, many, many other questions. So basically, the changes time will be addressed on 3 different headings, that is growth, nutrition, and exercise. Now here we have to understand that generally the girl starts getting menstruation at the age of say 12 to 15 years. But we must remember, girls, that every teenager is unique. That is because the genetic material that we get from our parents is different. Our parental height decides our growth and our height. In this, there are no shortcuts. You just cannot say that, no, I don't want to have my menses even up to the age of 15 and you can delay it. No, that cannot happen. These are the naturally and hormonally and brain controlled changes in our body. Proper nutrition and exercise are absolutely essential. Generally, in the pubertal changes, the girls start getting pubertal changes earlier and finish early, whereas the growth in the boys is slow but is sustained until the 18 years. However, if there are no changes of puberty, which we shall be seeing very soon, by 12 years in girls or by 14 years in boys, that is the time that we must see doctor. So what are the changes in my body? The contours of the body start appearing different. There is the development of the breast bud, generally by the age of 9 to 13 years. There's onset of pubic hair by 9 to 14 years. Maximum growth generally is attained by the age of 14 to 15 years. Generally, the menarche, that is the first menstruation, is attained by the age of 11 to 15 years. So this is the basically a period which shows you gradual change. Now here we shall see how the female reproductive system is there in our body. Now you're all girls of 9th and 10th standard, right? So you should be knowing basically from your science books that we have every girl has a female reproductive organ system in her body. Now here what you see inside is in between your in the pelvic region, in between your two legs, there is the uterus. On one side is the fallopian tube, on the other side is a different fallopian tube, and the ovaries on either side. Now, every small girl is born with this uterus and the tubes and the ovaries, but they remain silent. They remain dormant in a body. They remain dormant unless and until the brain gives the stimuli. So it is when the brain starts giving the stimulus in the form of hormones to these organs, only then these organs mature, only then these organs start responding to the brain stimuli and they start working or they start functioning. And that is why these changes in your body, the changes in your appearance, the changes in your patterns, that because of the hormones that are secreted from the brain. Once these hormones start working on these ovaries on both the sides of the uterus, these ovaries start developing an egg. It's a female egg. Every month, every cycle, an egg is developed from either the right or the left ovary. That egg is released from this ovary. It is picked up by the tube. The egg comes inside the uterine cavity. The lining of the uterus is ready to receive that egg. If that egg is of no use, within 15 days, it is washed out in the form of menstruation. And again, a new cycle starts. So this is your regular menstrual cycle. Now, let's see what a normal period is. Every girl gets the period. Somebody gets it in the 6th standard, somebody gets it in the 7th standard, somebody gets it in the 8th standard. Now here you have to understand, girls, that if you just, if you throw a handful of grains in the sand, in the field, and if you see the growth of those grains after say 15 days or 1 month, right? You will see that 70% of the saplings are of the same height, are of the same strength. But some will be smaller, some will be taller, some will be really, having a real good growth, some will be having a moderate. So it is all extremely individual. Generally, a girl starts menstruation anytime between the age of 11 to 14 years. You all know that. Typically, the periods last for 3 to 7 days. So somebody getting menstruation for 3 days is also normal, and somebody getting it for 7 days is also normal. That is the individual variation. Generally, the menses will come every 25 to 35 days. You will be needing 2 to 4 sanitary napkins per day. Mild cramps is a very common thing that may happen, that may not happen. And slight variation from above is extremely commonly seen, especially during the first year at the onset of menstruation. If you are stressed out, if you are traveling, if you have exams, if you are taking too much tension for the exams, or there is some illness, or if there is excessive dieting or overeating. So generally, the pattern of menstruation, it is generally like the way your mother had your menses. It is 10 to 20. Generally, the menses last, once started at a menarche, up to say 50 years. If your mother has heavy menses, generally the daughter has heavy menses. If the mother has painful menses, generally the daughter also has a painful menses. Now, what are the common issues during menstruation? Now, menstruation is a very, very, very physiological thing. It's a normal thing. It's a very, a matured thing. But still, there are some issues. Somebody might experience slight headache, slight body pain, slight leg pain, abdominal pain or discomfort. You might have to go to bathroom very frequently. There might be a bit of anxiety, a bit of nervousness, a bit of impulsiveness, a bit of irritability or a changing mood. See, if you have really observed well, and your friend or your colleague to whom you are extremely in good relations is in a menstrual or a premenstrual phase, And if you ask her for, say, exam notes, or if you ask her for, some help or a favor, maybe she'll just, respond in a very odd way. She'll not respond to you. She'll say something very curtly and you feel hurt. Or even your mom, your mother, for no reason, at times you feel that your mother is unnecessarily, getting angry, scolding you. So generally all this happens because of premenstrual changes. And we call this as a premenstrual syndrome. So please understand that this is a very, very, very temporary situation. It is because of hormones. All the changes that I just described, that can be because of hormones and may lead to extreme oversensitivity, cry spells, or social withdrawals. So that is the time that the people around you, or if you are suffering from this and the people around you, or if your mother or sister or friends are suffering from this, then you have to understand this and you have to please pardon them. So a premenstrual tension syndrome, during that time, a girl may experience abdominal bloating. There can be slight breast pain or tenderness. There can be headache. You can have some ample acne developing on your face. There can be body pain. There can be change in your food habits or appetite. There can be abnormal food cravings. And it's all normal because it's going to come every month. So we prepared for it. So how do you care for your menses during your periods? First and foremost is proper diet and proper hygiene. You must drink at least 3 to 3.5 liters of water or liquids every day. If possible, take bath twice a day. A hot water bath really, eases out most of the complaints. Whenever you go to toilet, always wash your genital or lower region. Cloth or sanitary pad, whatever you are using. I understand that now you are 9th and 10th standard girls, so you know the perfect disposal of sanitary pads, which is extremely important. Whenever you have menses, please carry a paper bag along in your school bag. And whenever you go to toilet, please, please, please do not flush away your sanitary pads in the toilet. Please keep them properly wrapped in the paper and in a special waste basket that is denominated for the sanitary pads. Now, many girls nowadays, they shave their pubic region or they remove their pubic hair with the chemical epilators. Please do not do that. It is just not medically recommended. You can just cut short your pubic hair with the scissors. Use loose and comfortable cotton garments. So if all these problems happen, now what are the conditions when you should see the doctor? Friends, you must see the doctor if your periods have not started by the age of 15 years. You've completed 15 years and still the menses have not started. Yes, that is the time you must go and see your doctor. If they've started too early, they started before the age of 10 years, then you should see the doctor. If the menses are really very heavy, the bleeding is excessive, you feel extremely tired after your menstruation, the pain is so much and the bleeding is so prolonged that, the bleeding goes on for 10, 12, 15 days. Yes, that is the time that you must see the doctor. So many girls come to us, or rather their mothers bring, them to us. Doctor, हिला ना थोडासा अंगावरून पांढरं जातं, हिला please बघा. So what is this white discharge? Girls, every lady, every menstruating girl has a slight normal white discharge, which really does not need any treatment. Now, naturally, this light discharge is a part of your body's preparation for menstruation and is a healthy process. However, if this discharge is along with irritation, burning, itching, or a foul odor, that is the time you must see your doctor. And that is why it's absolutely important to maintain a proper hygiene at all. Another very common thing that we observe is getting pimples. So, तारुण्य पिटिका आपण मराठीमध्ये म्हणतो. So why do I get pimples during menses? Generally, 1 or 2 pimples just start appearing on your cheeks or your nose or forehead or sometimes on the back. And generally it just disappears after the menses. During these bodily changes, the extra oil is produced by your skin glands. And a pimple develops when the oil leaks out of these glands into the skin. And it can erupt into a pus-filled pimple. So mild to moderate pimples are absolutely normal. They'll just vanish away. Never ever try to open up your pimple or bring out the pus. That can lead to scarring and infections. Always remember that. So how do you manage your beauty spots? Frequently wash your face with soap and water is all that is needed. Nothing more, nothing very, high-end or cosmetic or very costly products are needed. As I just told you, squeezing leads to infection and ugly scars. No commercial product has any cure for acne. What you need to do is have good diet, and we'll come to that very soon. Have green leafy vegetables, avoid oily food. Some people feel that the temporary, stoppage of oils reduces the pimples, but it's extremely individual. All that is important is keeping proper diet and proper hygiene. So coming to the diet, which is extremely important part for you girls. Now, this is to just remind you of this food pyramid that you must have learned, I think, in your 7th standard. Now, this food pyramid has to be remembered by all of you all your life. That is because if you have to be healthy, if you have to be, fit and want to do something, want to achieve something, your diet must be perfect and diet must be complete, like this food pyramid. So you know that in the base of the pyramid, there are cereals and pulses. In the middle part, there are lots of vegetables and fruits. Above that comes the fat and the milk and the fatty products and the meats. And above that, that is the absolutely small amount you should be eating, the oils and the fats and the sugars. So it's very important that all of you have breakfast. Now you're all at home, you're studying from home, isn't it? So even though you are at home, it's very important that you have a proper timetable. That is, you get up right in a proper time in the morning, you have some exercise, you have some breakfast before your online school activities start. So why should one eat a breakfast? It's very, very important because it's most important meal of your day. It gives you energy, it gives you boost to study and play. It increases your concentration. Just try one day, you don't have anything, you're not eating anything, and the teacher is telling something online, and as it is, the online things are so, drab and not interesting many a times. You might feel sleepy, you not understand what the teacher is talking. So to increase your concentration, to have maximum, reception for what your teachers are telling you, it's absolutely important that you have proper breakfast. The brain needs extra energy. You're all growing girls, you're all studying girls. Eat small frequent meals. Eat fresh fruits, juices, dried fruits. Say no to oily and junk foods. Have plenty of water so that dehydration is prevented. Dehydration can lead to extreme tiredness and leg pains, and so that you have a sound. In our country, girls, you'll be, surprised to know that 70% of the girls have significantly low hemoglobin, and that is what we call as anemic girl. Basically, every month you are having a menstrual loss, and a normal menstrual loss will be replenished if you have proper diet, if you have an iron rich diet. But if you have food fats, that can aggravate the problem of your iron loss. So to avoid that, what should we do? Use iron utensils. लोखंडाची कढई वापरा घरामध्ये. Use jaggery, that is good. Green leafy vegetables, red meat, drumsticks, natsni, dates, and if necessary, weekly iron supplements is necessary. Anemia, that is, if your hemoglobin is less than 12 gram %, that can lead to headache, it can affect the concentration skills, and that can lead to fatigue. So we have just seen the importance of diet. Now, along with diet, what is really very important for your age is the proper exercise. It is extremely important. Just the way every day you take bath, you have breakfast, you have your food, you have your studies. It's absolutely essential that at least for 30 to 40 minutes per day, you must have some physical activity. Now, even though you're trapped in the homes and you cannot go out on the grounds, at home you can have any exercise. You can skip, you can do skipping, you can dance, you can do yogasana, you can do surya namaskar, you can do spot jogging, you can do spot cycling. But it's extremely important, girls, that you nurture the habit of exercising right at a young age so that the balance of exercise and diet is maintained all your life. So what does exercise do? It makes your body strong and healthy. The body immunity increases, digestive system improves, and it improves your appetite as well. There is no need, I think, for you to tell the importance of diet. What is important is to you start doing exercise every day. So personal hygiene is also equally important. Every part and each corner of your body is a God's gift, girls, and it needs a daily care. Expensive cosmetics are not at all needed. Home remedies are better than commercial products. The inner beauty of yours is superior than external or exterior looks. Wash your hands before you eat and wash your feet before you sleep. I think washing hands has now become a part of our life because of COVID. And remember, clean is beautiful. So girls, each one can have your role model. Now, you are in such an age that very soon you should be deciding your next line of education and what you want to be. Somebody may want to be an actress, somebody may want to be a police officer, somebody will like to be a homemaker, a dancer, an engineer, a fashion designer, a singer, a teacher, a writer, and whatnot. Girls, so sky is the limit. So if you want to achieve something in life, what is important is nurture the healthy habits of proper diet, proper exercise, and proper hygiene. And this is the time for that. Let's come to the psychological changes in our body. Now, this is the time that you must control your own feelings. Others must not control your feelings. Resist the temptations and strongly oppose injustice. This injustice may be physical, this injustice may be psychological, may be mental. So, for that, seek help if necessary and do not blame yourself. Never hurt others if possible, and never hurt yourself ever. And the best way that you can do this is to talk your problems. Best is with your mother. This is the age, girls, that it's very, very, very common that you will feel attracted towards the opposite gender. The girls will feel attracted towards the boys. And there's a conflict in the mind that why is it happening? So just remember that the way there are physical changes in our body, the way there are external changes in the body, there are also psychological and mental changes in the brain because of chemical hormones. And feeling attracted towards boys, or feeling which was not there a few years earlier, is absolutely normal, because understand it is because of hormones. So this is the time you must understand that how do I make my right choices. Remember, whatever choice you make, you be responsible for that. Yours is a tender age now. It's very, very, very important that now you must focus on your studies. You must focus on your development. And this is not the time to engage in a relationship and to be carried away and have problems because of that. We see a lot of young girls indulging into unnecessarily emotional or physical problems at this age that can lead to infections, that can lead to psychological trauma. So just understand that it's absolutely okay. It's absolutely normal to feel attracted towards the boys, but you have to be focused on your studies. You have to be focused on your career. And remember, this is not the time to engage for these things. Once you mature, once you become independent, once you have got your degree, once you can make decisions for yourselves, then yes, then that is the time you can engage yourselves in some relationship. So, as I said, it's a normal phase of life. Don't give importance to these feelings. Keep focused on your studies. Keep focused on your own development. Keep yourself cool, calm, and healthy. Always share your feelings. Share your feelings, your mother, your friends or teachers. If you're not very, friendly with your mother, because she's your best friend, and you must always confide everything into your mother, whatever comes to your mind. But if you feel embarrassed, you can always talk to your teachers. You can talk to your parents. Concentrate on studies. Always avoid excessive use of TV and computers, and learn to say no. So the best friend in this world is your parents, girls. Be very open with them. Please do not hide your mistakes from them. They love you so much that only they can protect you and they can correct your mistakes. I think you all must be knowing about a good and a bad touch. You are big girls, but still I will tell you. No person apart from your mother should touch your private parts. No person should touch your breasts, and no person should ever touch your bowels. Never agree to keep it a secret. And if this is happening, tell somebody whom you trust. It is very important that you are aware of the problems that you can face if you don't say no, if you are not strong enough to manage this problem. So if somebody is abusing you, if somebody is misbehaving with you, if somebody is just unnecessarily touching you and you do not like it, avoid the situation if possible. Learn and practice to say no. If you are in a public area, you shout, stare and shout, no, I do not approve of it. For example, I just tell you, if you are sitting in an auto or if you're sitting in a city bus and a boy or a man comes and just sits next to you and he starts touching you at unseen parts, you turn to him, stand up in the bus or auto and shout, what you are doing is wrong. I do not approve of it. And please stop doing this. If you keep silent, if you keep mum, that person is going to take advantage of the situation. You must know self-defense habits. You must know how to tide over these situations. Now we come to the impact of media. Now today we are in such an age that because of COVID, you all have increased your screen time. It's inevitable. But then, please understand that the excess use of screens and media can lead to a monkey like this. So you should know your limits. You should know the advantages and the disadvantages of social media. It is very powerful medium and can affect us in both positive and negative ways. So just take the positives and be away from the negatives. That is because the visual media has maximum impact. Life without social media is nowadays unimaginable. Just imagine if there was no internet and if there was no online courses, your schools would have come to a standstill. So yes, it definitely has a positive use. Now media has conquered every corner of this planet. Most media have one-way communication the way it is now. Now I'm really missing your responses. Generally, every year we go to school. I have a class of or a bunch of say 200, 300 girls sitting in front of me. I can see the changes in their expressions. I can see their curious eyes, which all I'm missing right now. It is a one-way communication. You can choose the way and extent to which the media affects you. So what are the negative impacts of media on the physical health? This is what I think you all must remember. Obesity, it can lead to poor eating habits. It can lead to inadequate sleep because of excessive screen time. It's extremely important that at a night time after say 9 o'clock or unnecessarily, you should not be seeing your mobiles and your screens. Once you open the screen because of the light, there is a hormone called as a melatonin. That melatonin is the naturally sleep inducing hormone in our brain. And once the screen opens up, that melatonin is destructed in our brain and that leads to sleep deprivation. So it is all very important to have proper choices, to have proper friends. Don't be known by the company that you keep. In all these problems, what is most important is to have a timely health. I think there is no girl on this planet who does not have one or the other problems at this age. It may be psychological, it may be physical, it may be related to sexuality, it may be related to self-image, it may be related to confidence, it may be related to self-protection. Please, please, please take timely help because that can lead to worsening of your school performances. It can lead to irritability and mood swings. You can lose interest in the activities which you enjoyed earlier. If you start disliking your friends and the family, just ask yourself, what is going wrong? What is it that is, disturbing me? That is the time you must talk to your mother. You must talk to your friends. So friends, teenage is all about the development of your full potentials and enjoyment with complete responsibility. Thank you so much.